Okay, well, I think it's working. But what do I know? All right, so basically I'm working on the kind of account creation interface, and the idea here is a user can take their pending Boid balance and create an EOS account with that. And so far I have the user interface and some backend stuff that calculates the cost. And today I'm going to work on the modal where you like type in what account name you want and you kind of initiate the transfer. And then I'm going to do some backend stuff to make that work. So this is the account creation modal. And so this is the page. When you click account, create account, this is the modal. And I debated if the first, so the idea is that this modal will have like several pages. I debated about what should be on the first page. Should it be like an explanation about what an EOS account is? But I think it's too much. It's just too much information. So gonna keep it as basic as possible. So to create an EOS account, basically account name, and I copied and pasted a lot of this stuff from another modal where you edit your username. So I just need to change this text. Changing your username. Yeah, this is just kind of the account name must be exactly 12 characters. Can I add another line here? Can only contain letters and 0 through 5, if I remember correctly. All right, well, that's not showing up. It's probably not the best way to do that anyways. Oh, they're floating. Can I just do like a P paragraph? I think I'm gonna get out of this. Nope. That was bad. Oh, I know what's going on. It's amazing how many problems you can solve in HTML by just adding another div. Why do I have this floating left? That is weird. All right, that's what I was going for. Account name must be exactly 12 characters. Account name can only contain letters and 0 through 5. And if they type in the wrong name, it says invalid EOS account name. And max length is 12. Username, text, that's fine. That's fine. 12. Check username. So this is all going to return the opposite of the result. Interesting. Return true, return false. Yeah. So basically, this is the function that checks to see if it's correct. So this, I just forced it to return false. So if you type in an invalid name, then it says invalid EOS account name. Okay. And if it returns true, and I found the regex. So this is kind of the regex that determines it. You can basically check the text with these parameters. So I can say valid equals username dot search. Is that what it is? Search. And then you can just, ooh, didn't like that at all. Okay, let's see if that's right. Let's see. So this should actually return like true or false. So if I put in, oh yeah, so it's actually returning a 0 if it's fine and -1 if it's not correct. So if I put in 1 1 1, yeah. So that's actually, oh, that was actually easier than I thought it'd be. All right. So I can just return valid here, and when I'm typing in my name, this is a valid name. Oh, actually, oh, that's not correct. Oh, if valid is greater than, greater than -1. Else return false. Yes. That's fine. If you put in the wrong kind of number, then it doesn't like that. Okay. And I also need to search. I need to do like a query to see if this name that I type in is already taken. So that means equals, how about just if valid is not equal to 0, return false. Else, actually I don't even need an else here. If valid is not equal to 0, return false. And then the next step is going to be something. I have to look up the EOS.js RPC endpoints. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, God, I don't know. It always, this documentation is, it's not fun to look through. I'll just say that. All right, so we want to get the account, get account. I think we can just do get account and then literally you just put in a string. So basically, if it's a valid name, then we'll call EOS.js.getAccount. And I need to pull in I feel like I should just have a global instance of EOS.js. Like, I should just pull it in here, probably. Let's see how I do it. I have this init transit function. Window.eosjs equals I'm actually not using EOS.js in here. So here's what I need. API. So window.esjs.rpc should be what I need. And I will go to app and change, I'm going to set this up so that it gets initialized, but I'm going to disable some of this stuff. Because I'm not sure exactly what to do with it right now, but I'll probably go back and re-enable this in a bit. All right, so init transit. So that means I should be able to network is not defined. Network. These error messages. In init transit. Oh, I didn't import network. All right, how do I do that? What is network? Oh, it's from scatter. But I just want the RPC. Man, this is so much more simple. That's all I need, really. I don't need all that stuff for what I'm doing here. even think I need that. Wallet is not defined. Yeah, okay. I screwed up trying to use this because it was expecting a bunch of stuff that I'm not. Yeah. So I should be able to say EOSJS.RPC. Cool. .get account John at Boid11. Yep. So now from anywhere in the app that I need to use that, I can grab it from window. Init transit. All right, so for example, right here, I just need to say window.eosjs.rpc.get_account username log. I'm just gonna return true for now. All right. User, oh crap. What's that? Unknown key. Oh, I think it just blocked me for calling it too many times. So, oh, well, for one thing, I should use await, and then it'll well, this is I'm a little lost, to be honest. So that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's exactly. Oh, is it because it's not a valid Yeah, that'll help. If username.length is, let's say, not equal to 12, we will also return false. So basically, that has to be valid and it has to be equal to 12, and then we will talk to the API. This is like the final step. But I don't necessarily want it to throw an error as soon as you start typing. What is unknown key? That's just what it just does that if it's not a valid name. It just throws an error. Couldn't it just be like, hey, we couldn't find that account? So I'll just put it in a try catch. And if this is an error, return false. And I'm going to make it so that it doesn't actually check the length. Or it doesn't return false here, but it will let me add a submit button. So at click equals submit. And I have a submit method right here. So I think actually I'm not gonna check until I hit submit. Yeah, so if there's an error, I actually want to return true. And if it's something exists, I want to return false. Right? And I don't actually need this here. This is kind of more confusing than it seems like it should be. So if I type in this is a valid, but it already exists, invalid EOS account name, kind of want a more unique error message. So is this just like a true or false error? It must be like a true or false. Here's what I'm gonna do. Mm-hmm. v-if error message Cool. So it doesn't actually check until you hit submit. And then when you hit submit, it will check. And then actually I think yeah, it's fine. Okay, cool. Account name is already taken. So when I clear this, so if I clear this, I want to return true. So that's actually valid. I'm gonna watch. Watch is I'm gonna watch username, and if the found.length is less than 12, I'm going to set this dot to null. So basically, if I type in a valid and I hit submit, can't do that, and then I'll, how do I keep it from throwing an error? I kind of want this to always be visible. So I don't know, this validator thing is just kind of making everything more complicated. I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't think I need it for this use case. Submit username. If username is empty, return false. Do regex. If it's not valid, return false. If the length is not equal to 12, return false. So if those are all true, check existing. I could even do all I really need to do is return the error message. This error message is equal to basically, that basically is what I needed to do, more or less. Submit. Account name is already taken. Okay, failed prop error, expected boolean, got string. That's fair. It wanted a boolean. So I gave it a boolean. Dang it. Come on. All right, cool. Now I just need to make this so that it doesn't break the interface. I'm just going to put it in a row. I mean, yeah. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Check it out. So that's valid. What if I put weird characters in there? Invalid EOS account name. Why is it resetting like that? It's not this thing, right? So that's valid. This is not. Oh, I need to return. Because I need to break out of this logic. If I don't break out of it, then it tries to run everything else. And then if I turn this back on, as soon as I subtract, so it's gonna be like, okay. That's not a valid name. As soon as I start backspacing, it'll stop throwing the error. And account name's already taken. If it's too short, account name must be exactly 12 characters. Sick. All right. So I want to put like to say that this should actually be in another div because I'm going to change this. It'd be like if page equals 1, and I'm going to say page 1. So we start on page 1. When you click submit, we're going to go to page 2. This dot page equals 2. In fact, we might just break this whole thing off. Yeah. So when I click submit, this is a valid name. Oh, it's already taken. What do you know? All right, so now we're on page 2. Okay. So I'm just going to page 2. And this would basically be the key. So we have the username. Owner key, active key. So what are you, is anyone watching me? I'm gonna check the chat. See. Cool. That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, I realize this isn't super exciting to watch, but felt it'd be good to show what goes on behind the scenes. I'm looking for EOS pub key regex. If I can't figure it out, then I'm just going to check the length, basically. And I'll check if it starts with EOS. So here's a pub key. Async check keys. So active key, vote key. I'm just going to check if is that page 2? Yeah, so I'm going to reuse this error message variable. Check keys. So I'm going to say if there's basically if there's no form, then owner key is required. All right, so let's do that. So here's a public key. Interesting. All right, I'm on page 2. input your account public keys. Owner key. Required. How many characters is how many characters is this public key? Test.length is 53, so maximum length is 53. And I'm gonna make a function up here that is the validate key function, because I'm gonna have to check like 3 different keys. So, and I'm just gonna use really basic logic. So, because I mean, if they really put a wrong key in, then it's going to throw an error when they go to create an account anyways. If key.length is not equal to 53, return false. If I log the, can you do that? Check keys. All right. Oh. think that I should also have a back button that sets the page. Back to page 1. Why is this not getting reset? Oh, crap. All right, let's reset this. Owner key. Yeah, I mean, there we go. Cool. Owner key required. If it's not 53 characters long, return false. What I actually wanted to know was, I can do a really basic check because public keys always start with EOS. So I'm just going to check the first 3 characters. And that's fine. Yeah, okay. So this is real sloppy, but I don't feel like looking up the exact correct way to do it, but basically key 0, key 1 needs to be O, right? Key 3, also known as key 2, should be S. Else return false. So won't even invalid owner key. basically reset. Basically, if I like clear it out, reset the error message. Yep, this is getting old. Okay, owner key. So here's my owner key. Yeah. Cool. So it didn't throw an error. What if I change this? There you go. All right. So if basically this continue button will be disabled until you have valid keys. And form.owner key if the key is valid, this dot valid keys equals true. Cool. It worked. However, it's so all that it checks for the continue button is the owner key, and then when you hit continue, it'll actually double check everything. That's fine. So next, let's add the other keys. Which is basically going to be the same process. Whoa. active key vote key or voting key. I don't know. Vote key. Owner key, vote key. No, this is active key. Vote key. Placeholder required. Placeholder. Optional. Optional. Okay. If active key, then let's check it. This is basically invalid active key. So if the active key is no good, turn, let's set the this dot valid keys is equal to false. Problem there is I have to set it. I think I'm not gonna mess with valid keys because I want the user to be able to click the button again. I don't want to introduce a bunch of logic to enable and disable the button based on all this different stuff. It gets pretty hairy. All right, so if there's anything in active key, validate it. If it's not valid, then set invalid active key. If it is valid, I don't think I need to do anything. Form dot vote key So basically, if the active key is there, validate it, and if it's not valid, return. If the vote key is there, validate it. If it's not valid, return. So assuming that either everything is valid or the only key that was put in was the owner key, now basically we can go to page 3. So I could just say this dot page equals 3. Yeah. And all I need to do is add a div. Yeah. Is that the right line? I don't think so. Nope, that's the right line. Okay. So this is page 3. We are on page 3. Okay. Right. I'm feeling optimistic about this one. Oops. You made me. Error message B2 and B3. And then this is sloppy, but I don't really feel like yeah, I mean, I don't really know a better way to do that, to be honest. If you want to track the error state of 3 different things. Cannot read property RAM cost of null. Oh, that's just something unrelated to what I'm doing. That was just a RAM cost. RAM cost. Where's that? If create stats, this dot create stats dot results. Oh, so I had one that didn't have RAM cost, so that must have thrown an error or something. I'll just throw an error. I don't know, man. Cool. All right. Owner key. So if I hit continue, it should just take me to page 3. Cool. All right. Check. Oh, that's, I'll have to set a thing. Yeah, it's fine. I have to reset the state of that. So let's see if I put an invalid, let's see what happens if I put an invalid vote key. Nothing. Probably don't have the error message hooked up properly. Wouldn't be surprised. No? Oh. Yeah, that's just, you know. It's not. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Continue button isn't even going to turn on if the owner key isn't in there. And boosh, boosh. Continue, invalid vote key. Invalid active key. Pretty cool. So basically, if I set this to, if I clear this, it should reset the this is just not pretty code. But it does work. So if I clear this, so I get an error, I clear this, and it's better. So error message. So if I set error message 2 to null, then it should set the error to false, which should so if the length is 0, can't we just like reset it? Set the error message to oh, look at that. I think that's what happened. So basically, if you clear it out, I'm going to set it to null instead of an empty string, because then you could clear it out and then you could hit continue and it's not going to throw an error. Yeah, that's fine. Vote key. Yeah. Since it's optional anyways. Cool. Okay. I think I fixed it. I'm pretty sure I fixed it. Really? It's like cool. Cannot read property length of null. I mean, form.active key if there's no val return. Yeah. So validate, which is like a middleware that I was using to validate forms, probably would work great for this. But in order for me to use it, I would have to sit here reading through the validate documentation and examples. And the amount of time that it would take me to do that and figure and work, through that API is greater than the amount of time it takes to do this. So, whatever. Because I've done it before and it is kind of confusing, to be honest. Okay. So I hit continue. Invalid active key. I clear it out. clear that. There we go. Cool. All right. I'm going to set the minimum height. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to put a watcher on. What I would like to do is when I create the modal, open, no, that's what I wanted. Open this dot reset modal. And then start it. And reset modal is interval, literally like 10 milliseconds. So what that does is this create modal v-if show modal. So what that does is every time you click this, it basically in the background like hides and unhides it. Property method show modal. Oh, I need to. Yeah, so in the background it'll like hide it and unhide it. And oh, I need to do a callback. Show modal callback. Well, you don't want to do that. Cannot read property. Oh. When I mount, I think it's just, I think I've broken something. Cannot read property refs of undefined. Maybe I need to wait a little longer. Huh. Oh. I was setting a time out. I was setting an interval so it's like repeating as opposed to just doing it once. So yeah, that'll do it. Okay, well, it doesn't like that. I made it very unhappy. I've done this before. Like correctly. I did it on the Oh, I need to do next tick, don't I? Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Well, it's possible that the way I did it was different. I think, oh, you know what I did? I actually reset the object inside the modal as opposed to the modal itself. So I've seen some ways to do this. Really shouldn't need to install a new package just for yeah, I think I'll just reset it manually. It's fine. Actually, it's not. It's a lot of variables. Oh, I guess it is better to just do it on a per component basis. Okay. Seems like it'd be useful, so I'm going to give it a shot. view component reset. And then reset mixin. And now I say does that mean I can call reset from out here? Let's find out. All right, guess not. Yep. I mean, I didn't really expect it to work, so I wasn't surprised when it broke. Okay. That doesn't work. So, Seems kind of silly, but it might work. I'm actually, that's weird. Well, it's not throwing errors. If I set show modal to false, hey, that worked. Hey, okay. I just had to undo the thing that I did before. Just set this to, I mean, I'm pretty sure you could do like 10 milliseconds. Just getting rid of it for 10 milliseconds basically will force view to reset it. Yep. Good stuff. All right, I'm taking a break. So I will be back in like 10 minutes.